Have you heard of or been to a leadership program such as Rising Mustangs, iLED, We Connect, or Mavericks Day of Service at MSU, Texas?
I've heard of iLead. I used to be the president of the Pre-Professional Society, so I had to lead those seminars and train the officers.
Well, that's really cool because we're really into this leadership work. So how do you feel about the current state of the leadership programs here at MSU?
The leadership programs work when there's a faculty advisor, the best. Being the president of a society or pre-professional club, it relies on the students. So if there's not a strong drive from the students leading it and there's not a good foundation, they kind of are a little bit weaker. So there are some that excel, I think, in leadership positions, like those iLead conferences, and there's some that really they don't have a strong push from the students.
No, I definitely get that. It is very important that students have the drive as well as faculty to oversee them and everything. So without any prior knowledge, what do you think a typical leadership program provides students? An example is extracurricular activities, service events, and fundraising events.
If I didn't have the experience, I would think that a leadership group in a certain area would have some guidance for a student. I would assume, let's say if it was a geology leadership club, I would assume someone that maybe upperclassmen, sophomore, junior, senior, would be able to tell a freshman the things to look out for, even in the classes and extracurricularly as well.
Right. So what type of extracurricular activities interest you?
I generally try to participate in fundraisers. I've organized a blood drive here before with the pre-professionals. Bake sales are kind of easy. I think it's an easy way to raise important funds for an organization, as well as just participate with people that are in the organization. We've done raffles before, so things that'll raise money for a cause.
Yeah, that's really good because for our honors program, we do a blood drive as well. That's really cool how you've organized something like that. So what are 3 things that you hope to gain from a leadership program?
If I didn't have prior knowledge, I kind of touched on it already, but some guidance as far as extracurricular activities, kind of keeping yourself focused on your courses and balancing time. I think another one would be how to get involved on campus. I think there's a lot of important different groups that you can get involved in that aren't strictly education based. And I think just getting to know students is this a good way to connect and getting to know not just people within your group, but trying to partner with another organization and kind of get to know them more.
Yeah, it's really important, especially freshmen that just come in, they don't know too many people, and it's really good to have others to lean back on. So what are some incentives that might encourage you to become a member of a leadership program, such as recognition, certification, etc.?
Well, I'm guilty of this, but if you bring food, people will show up, right?
Yes, sir.
But you can also try to put together, an event that'll bring people in that's not just about your strict field. So I was pre-professional, so like pre-med, pre-vet, pre-den, but try to put together some kind of event, like a movie night, and just, let people enjoy themselves, but also this is an organization. If you're interested, here's a handout, let's let you know how to join.
Yeah, I feel it. So would you participate in various fundraising events? All the proceeds go to events and annual trips.
I would. I mean, I've touched on it before, but I think those are important. I think they're easy ways to mingle. I think you can find a way to help out the organization to get to know the actual officers rather than just seeing their name online and maybe you know them.
Yeah, that's really good. You're able to help others, and at the end of the day, it's helping yourself and all the people in your organization. So what do you think could be done to improve the current leadership program, Rising Mustangs, at MSU?
Specifically Rising Mustangs, I'm not familiar with. It's a good opportunity for me to get to know some more, right?
Right.
But as long as there's good counsel, there's good ways to get counsel from faculty, and there's good connections within the organization, I think that's most important. I think people get carried away with the size of an organization. So you might have 150 people, but they just kind of say, oh yeah, I'm involved in this and every other weekend, whatever.
Right.
So making meaningful connections, organizing events that people care about,
Correct.
Kind of getting the campus on your side sort of thing. I think that's going to be the most important thing for a leadership to grow and for it to be effective.
Correct. I feel the same way. So would you participate in a revitalized and improved leadership program here at MSU?
I think I would.
My name is Connor, and I'll be asking you about leadership programs here.
Awesome.
Okay, so have you heard of or been to any leadership program on campus, such as Rising Mustangs, iLead, We Connect, or Mavericks Day of Service at Midwestern State University?
No, I have not.
How do you feel about the current state of the leadership programs here at MSU?
So I'm not sure about the current state. I know that there's always room for improvement, and it's usually in the communication field. Like the fact that I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
States
Probably.
like that, like more communication needs to be spread out.
Yeah, probably important that the students know. So, without any prior knowledge, what do you think a typical leadership program provides for students? Like, for example, extracurricular activities, service events, and stuff like that.
I think a leadership program should allow students to grow and like get into the field and like build up that confidence before they go out into the real world. You can do that through community service, organizing different events, whether it's through sports or just other clubs.
Okay, and what type of extracurricular activities interest you personally?
I'm a lot about the environment, so I really look forward into like time out. Cut that. I really enjoy being outside and giving back to the planet. Like being friendly to each other and like possibly like getting like families together. So right now with me having a kid, like I have no idea what's going on. All these organizations meet after I have to pick up my kid, and a lot of them are just like, "Oh my God, you have a kid?" No.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I respect that about the environment. Like a lot of times, everything wants to meet at 8 or 9 at night in college, so it's just like, oh my gosh. What are 3 things that you would hope to gain from a leadership program if you were in one?
I'd like to build confidence and build that communication platform, and also to create connections like within campus and then off of campus as well.
I agree with that. That's pretty good. What are some incentives that would encourage you to become a member of a leadership program? Maybe like recognition or something like that.
Recognition would be cool. Scholarships.
Yeah.
It's just a free book. Like, that'd be a great incentive.
Would you participate in various fundraising events when all proceeds go to like more events and annual trips for like a leadership organization?
Yeah.
Have you heard of or been to a leadership program such as Rising Mustangs, iLead, We Connect, or Mavericks Day of Service at MSU, Texas?
No.
How do you feel about the current state of the leadership program here at MSU?
I think it's really empowering for the people who want to know about being a leader.
Definitely, most definitely. Without any prior knowledge, what do you think a typical leadership program provides students? An example is extracurricular activities, service events, and fundraising events.
I guess it just teaches people how to be a leader and just how to work with others.
Yes.
All the
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Very important, yes. What type of extracurricular activities interest you?
like art or
Cool.
music,
Yeah.
things like that.
What kind of community service events do you enjoy participating in?
Volunteer work, I guess.
Yeah. What are the 3 things that you would hope to gain from a leadership program?
The basic, like how to be a leader and how to work in a group and problem solving,
Yes.
critical decision making stuff.
Right. What are some incentives that might encourage you to become a member of a leadership program? An example is recognition, certification, etc.
Like what drives people.
Yeah, what would you like to have in order to become a member of a leadership program? Like, what kind of incentives?
Scholarships and
Scholarships.
things like that.
Would you participate in various fundraising events? In these events, all the proceeds go to more events and annual trips for the leadership program. Yes.
Of course I have.
Now, what do you think could be done to improve the current leadership program, Rising Mustangs, at MSU?
Telling other people about these things and then recognizing things.
Yes. Would you participate in a revitalized and improved leadership program here at MSU?
Of course.
All right, thank you so much.
No problem.
So my name is Connor. We're just going to be talking about the leadership program here at MSU. So have you heard of or been to a leadership program here at MSU such as Rising Mustangs, I Lead, We Connect, or Maverick State Service?
Oh yeah, I think I've actually been to Rising Mustang.
Okay, yeah, that's something we need to know. How do you feel about the current state of the leadership program here at MSU?
The leadership program is good, but there's room for improvement. Like I think there needs to be more events in general.
More
I think
events?
I think the quality is fine, but like more events would really help. And
Yeah.
more outreach, like more marketing.
More marketing, definitely. That's a great idea. So, like, without any prior knowledge, what do you think a typical leadership program at a college would provide for students?
I think a typical leadership program would provide students with like presentation skills, public speaking, like just know how to carry yourself in an audience.
For sure.
Really, networking skills is also something really important. And just the ability to carry yourself in a way that's professional, which make you seem as good.
Yeah, this guy really hit it on the head. Like, that's everything we talk about. We want like, what kind of community service events do you enjoy participating in?
Community service events that like are special, not like just the usual things like let's say adopt the highway, for example. Like something that really will resonate with someone, like helping someone disabled, or like actually seeing what you're doing and it helping someone.
Yeah. So, what kind of extracurricular activities interest you personally?
All these extracurriculars like sports,
Yeah.
most guys, like same professional development, like just to learn how to improve myself better.
Yeah. So, if you were to join a leadership program, what are 3 things that you would hope to gain from it?
3 things, like I was saying before, like just the ability to speak better, how to network. Third one would be like better relationship management, like just being able to communicate better with people one-on-one.
What are some incentives that would encourage you to join a leadership program?
I think some incentives that would, like if you could, they were offering like certifications, like good ones that you could actually put on your resume.
Yeah.
In addition to that, I think like the quality is already good, but if the quality was even increased more, that would be a bit of an incentive. And also they could provide some sort of scholarship that would entice students to do it.
Yeah, for sure. I think, like you said, the certification. Like, I think as someone who's trying to go to medical school, I think that is so important. So yeah, and I think that service, it would be so huge for a leadership program because I think to be a leader, you got to know how to serve people.
Sure.
So would you participate in like fundraising events around campus and around the town?
Yeah.
Okay. And the last question, what do you think could be done to improve the current leadership program at MSU?
To improve the current leadership program, I would say, like we were talking about before, just market it more, improve the frequency of the programs being offered, and including certifications so students would be able to have something to show after they're done with the program.
Yeah. And if it were improved, would you participate in a revitalized leadership program?
For sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Have you heard of or been to a leadership program such as Rising Mustangs, I Led, We Connect, or Maverick State of Service at MSU, Texas?
No.
So, how do you feel about the current state of the leadership programs here at MSU?
From what I've seen from a distance, because I'm not really on campus anymore, I feel like you guys have done a really great job with having the voice of the students here be out and public.
Yes, ma'am. Without any prior knowledge, what do you think a typical leadership program provides students? An example is extracurricular activities, service events, and fundraising events.
What was the question? Sorry.
Without any prior knowledge, what do you think a typical leadership program provides students?
I guess like a foundation for students to come together with like mindsets, and then just
Right. So, what type of extracurricular activities interest you?
just helping out the community. So anything with fundraising, especially helping personally people with disabilities, because that's my major. So
Nice. So, what kind of community service events do you enjoy participating in?
Anything that's really active or outdoors,
Mhm.
I feel like that's a lot of fun. So like doing 5Ks
Yes.
around the community,
That's
I think
fun,
that's
yeah.
really fun and active.
Yeah, I like running too, so that's really like we do that sometimes. So what are 3 things that you hope to gain from a leadership program?
Um, a positive community, good, I guess, colleagues to work with, and just helping each other out become better.
Yeah, that's fair. So what are some incentives that might encourage you to become a member of a leadership program? Example is recognition, certification, etc.
I think recognition would be a good one, and then that helps people communicate with others and make connections.
Connections. Good. So would you participate in a revitalize and improve leadership program here at MSU if you had the chance? And I know you graduated and everything.
If I had the chance, yes, I would.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
So my name is Connor, and we're going to talk about the leadership program here at MSU. Okay, so have you heard of or ever been to a leadership program such as Rising Mustangs, I Lead, We Connect, or Maverick State Service here at MSU?
I've heard of it, but I haven't been.
Okay, so you've heard of it. So.
Yes.
How do you feel about the current state of the leadership programs here at MSU?
I think pretty good. I don't know too much about it, but I have some friends that are involved, and they seem to enjoy it. So.
Okay, that's cool. So without any prior knowledge, what do you think like the typical leadership program should offer students?
I guess speaking skills, like how to, speak in front of big audiences, or how to organize your ideas effectively. I guess how different learning styles and how you can work together to accomplish the same goal, because everyone learns differently and works differently.
So what kind of like extracurricular activities do you think should be a part of like a leadership program?
Like clubs and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I guess I'm assuming sororities and fraternities are, or I don't know, that'd be something probably beneficial. I guess, yeah, any academic club or anyone who really wants to improve, their leadership skills.
So like what type of extracurricular activities interest you personally?
Let's see. I go to Arts and Literature Society meetings sometimes. I was in Amnesty Club a couple years ago. And then, yeah, I'm in the honors program.
Nice. So, what are 3 things that you would hope to gain from a leadership program?
I think speaking skills, how to speak to an audience. Maybe like for after college, like if you're going to grad school or if you're just like going straight into like to work, sort of different ways to manage that. I think could be useful. And I guess networking.
Yeah, sure. So, what are some incentives that would encourage you to join a leadership program?
I guess like a resume builder. Looks good on your resume.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I mean extra credit.
Yeah. Would you participate in fundraising events here on campus?
Yeah,
if like
sure.
the proceeds went to like more events and annual trips and stuff? Okay. So, what do you think could be done to improve the current leadership program here?
I don't know if I have any specifics because I'm not like involved in it or anything. I guess more advertising, maybe, like to get the word out. I'm not really sure. But.
So, if the leadership program here on campus would be revitalized and improved, would you try to participate in it and join it?
Yeah, sure.
Have you heard of or been to a leadership program such as Rising Mustangs, ILED, We Connect, or Mavericks Day of Service at Midwestern State University?
I have heard of the Mavericks Day of Service actually, but I've never been to it, and I haven't heard of the others.
So how do you feel about the current state of the leadership programs here at MSU?
I'm not personally involved in any of them, but I have heard good things, and I see stuff on the social media pages all the time, so.
Yeah, that's a good way to see it and everything. So without any prior knowledge, what do you think is a typical leadership program provides students? An example is extracurricular activities, service events, and fundraising events.
I feel like, yeah, service events and fundraising events are a big thing.
So what type of extracurricular activities interest you?
I don't know, like sports, I guess.
Sports,
yeah.
Any specific ones?
I do like basketball a lot.
So what kind of community service events do you enjoy participating in, if you were to, or if you haven't?
I don't know. Like I used to do a lot of vocational Bible school and Meals on Wheels and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's really good. So what are 3 things that you hope to gain from a leadership program?
Leadership skills, of
Leadership
course.
skills, yes.
I guess communication skills and being able to work with people.
Right. So what are some incentives that might encourage you to become a member of a leadership program? An example is recognition, certification, etc.
Recognition would be good, and being able to put that on like a resume or something like that.
It's really important for you, especially like med, pre-med, and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
You need all you can get. So, would you participate in various fundraising events, knowing that all proceeds go to events and annual trips?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you think could be done to improve the current leadership program, Rising Mustangs, at MSU?
I guess try to reach out to the students more. I guess in different ways, because I'm not sure that I've really seen much reaching out, I guess.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely we have to work on that. So, would you participate in a revitalized and improved leadership program here at MSU?
Yeah, I'd consider doing it.
All right, thank you so much.
My name's Connor, and we're going to be talking about the leadership program here at MSU. Have you heard of or been to a leadership program such as Rising Mustangs, iLead, We Connect, or Mavericks Day of Service?
No.
Okay. How do you feel about the current state of leadership programs here at MSU?
I don't know anything about leadership programs.
What type of extracurricular activities interest you? Alright. What kind of community service events do you like to participate in?
In the past, like say in high school, I would volunteer for helping the homeless, or I go to nursing homes and volunteer there. Yeah.
What are 3 things that you would want to gain from a leadership program?
Scholarship money.
Okay. What are
Helping me become more well-rounded.
What are 3 things? I don't know. What are some incentives that would encourage you to join a leadership program?
Maybe if I knew more information about it.
For sure. Would you participate in various fundraising events if the proceeds went to more events and annual trips?
Yes, I would.
And what do you think could be done to improve the current leadership program, Rising Mustangs at MSU?
We'll get the word more out there.
So if it were to be improved and revitalized, would you participate in it?
Maybe. Yes, if I knew more information about it.
Okay, thank you. That's all we need to know.
Okay.
Have you heard of or been to a leadership program such as Rising Mustangs, iLead, We Connect, or Mavericks Day of Service at MSU, Texas?
I don't think I have actually. Like I haven't had any this semester.
Right. Probably. It's most likely. So how do you feel about the current state of the leadership programs here at MSU?
I haven't had much experience with them just yet. I mean, I'm still a freshman here. It's my first semester, so
That's fair.
I have to give it more time.
Most likely. Without any prior knowledge, what do you think a typical leadership program provides students? An example is extracurricular activities, service events, and fundraising events.
I think a lot of fundraising events, maybe.
Right.
Maybe community service is a really big thing too.
Sure. So what type of extracurricular activities interest you?
I like going into like the business clubs.
So what kind of community service events do you enjoy participating in?
I haven't had the opportunity to join one just yet.
Not yet?
No.
So what are the 3 things that you hope to gain from a leadership program?
Something hard, I guess.
Yes, that's very important.
And recognition, maybe.
Yes, sir. What are some incentives that might encourage you to become a member of a leadership program? An example is recognition, certification, etc.
Like I mentioned before, recognition is definitely a big part, and also making new friends.
Yes, sir. That's very important. So would you participate in various fundraising events when all proceeds go to events and annual trips?
Absolutely.
Okay. So what do you think could be done to improve the current leadership program, Rising Mustangs at MSU?
I haven't had the chance to be in one yet, and or haven't really, like, I don't really know how it is just yet. I'm sure the more the semester or the year goes, I'll know more about it. And
So do you think that since you don't know much about it, that it should be marketed more, or there should be more things coming out so that you can become exposed to it?
maybe that's a really big thing too.
So would you participate in the Revitalize and Improve Leadership program here at MSU Texas?
There's a chance.
All right, I
I can't say
appreciate
for sure
that.
just yet.
Okay, I got you. Thank you, sir.
Talking about the leadership program here at MSU. Okay. Have you ever heard of or been to a leadership program such as Rising Mustangs, iLead, WeConnect, or Maverick State Service?
I have heard of them. I planned to attend one last semester, but I didn't. It was last semester or the semester before, but I didn't go.
I'm not going. That's fine. How do you feel about the current state of the leadership programs here at MSU?
Well, I do not know much, but I've heard that like you get to meet a lot of people, make a lot of connections, and I got an email once talking about what they'll be talking about, and I found that the topics were very interesting, but I was working at the time, so I couldn't come to that one.
Yes. Okay. So without any prior knowledge, what do you think a typical leadership program would provide a student, like extracurricular activities, fundraisers?
Say that again?
Without any prior knowledge, what do you think a typical leadership program should provide a student, like extracurricular activities or fundraisers and stuff like that?
Okay. Yeah, I think like after school programs that would help them to enhance their interpersonal skills and speaking skills and networking, help them to teach them to network and stuff like that. Volunteering, I think it should include some form of that. I mean, and everything doesn't have to be so serious, you know. Interactive sessions amongst us as peers and authority figures.
Yeah. So what type of extracurricular activities interest you personally?
I like drama, theater, and that kind of thing. I haven't been to any or participated in any since I've been here. But before I came here, I was really interested in those kind of things. Sports, I like to watch it, not play. Anything really. I'm a simple person, so I think anything that gets me out of the house to come and interact. Yeah. Lately, I've been interested in simple things like painting and stuff. I haven't done it, but I'm interested in it.
Yeah. So what kind of community service events do you like participating in? Yeah.
I'm part of the Lions Club. We've been to I forgot what his name, like the food place where you help them pack stuff and that kind of thing.
The food bank.
The food bank, yes, that. We have been thinking about doing cleanups. There's this Big Brother, Big Sister program thing, I think. We've been talking about getting involved as a group or as individuals. I mean, I love kids, and I was a teacher at one point in time, so yeah, I like kids, so I want to do something like that. So that's what we've been doing.
So what are 3 things that you would hope to gain from a leadership program if you were in one?
Friends that are within my department, so that we could help each other out on certain assignments, you know, just ideas bounce off each other. Friends outside of my curriculum, networking with persons within my field, you know, because sometimes we tend to think that because we have a degree, we're going to get the job, but you actually have to make connections and have that relationship with people sometimes that could give you a boost up, you know, and just general knowledge about different fields, your field, how to be a better person overall and not just academically.
So what are some incentives that would encourage you to become a member of a leadership program?
Good question. Generally, I think being a part of any leadership program is good, whether you get an incentive or not. The knowledge itself is beneficial enough, I would think. But if we want to put something to it, I would say maybe a scholarship attached, being able to work along with someone in the field that you're participating in, internships, and generally just being involved community-wise. Yeah.
So would you participate in various fundraising events if all the proceeds went to annual trips and more events?
If I would participate if it led to that?
Yeah, would you participate in fundraising events?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. And what do you think could be done to improve the current leadership program here at school?
Say that again?
What do you think could be done to improve the leadership program here at MSU?
I've never been to one, so I don't know really. I think they're doing a pretty good job per se, because I got a lot of emails leading up to the event telling me more about it. The last one that I was mentioning told me the topics that were going to be talked about, and the teachers actually do mention it in the classes that I've been to. So I think they're doing good in terms of promotion wise. I've never been one, so I can't tell what it's like actually being in there, but I don't have any recommendations per se.
Yeah, that's really all right. So, if the program were to be revitalized and improved, would you participate in it?
Sure. Yeah.